All right, so today I am joined by the amazing and fabulous Margaret Cho. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So, Margaret, I'd like to begin by talking more about your new album, Lucky Gift. First off, how excited are you that's finally out?
I'm so excited. Some of these songs I've been waiting to put out for more than 10 years, and so it's really really great and people really loving it, and I'm so proud of it.
Good, good. So, this is your first album in 8 years. What inspired you to return to music now?
Well, I always make music, and it's just like I hadn't put it out, and I had these songs that actually made up for the album that was like right there, and so I thought I should put it out. And I really am a fan of my own music. I know it's weird. I like the way that I sound. So I thought, oh, I should share this with people because I think it's really good. So yeah, I like what it sounds like. I like what I do, and so I wanted to give it to other people.
All right, perfect. So, this album took a couple of years to create, like you said 10 years, right?
Yeah.
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 So what was the journey like, the creative process with this journey from start to finish?
Well, some of it was stuff that I wrote and recorded in 2014. A lot of the songs with Roger Rocha. So there's the kind of a more of a piano side
Okay.
to the record, and then there's more of a guitar side.
Okay.
So the piano side is really Roger, and the guitar side is me and Garrison Starr. So um, it was, like uh, all of these different kind of songs that I had written, and that I just that had a lot of meaning to me emotionally, but I never um, thought I would put it out. I never thought, oh, these are not ready, or I don't know. Like I just hadn't had sort of a in inspiration to put them out into an album until now.
Okay, perfect. Now, is there an overall story that the album is telling?
It's all love stories. It's all different kinds of love stories. There's lots of different kinds. Like Lucky Gift is about when you feel ugly but you fall in love anyway.
Okay.
Funny Man is about my love for Robin Williams and for those funny guys who don't feel funny all the time. And um, Wheels of Gold is about for my love of drugs. I was an opiate addict for many, many years, and so that song is all about drug addiction. Really intense love for substances, which almost killed me. So there's different songs, like Waterside is about an, a 1950s heartthrob closeted actor who's moving to Hollywood from London, and he has to pretend that he's straight. So he's
Okay.
trying to marry his realtor. So it's a song about closeted love or trying to find a beard. It's like a Todd Haynes film, like
Mhm.
Far From Heaven or Carol, or but in song form. So there's lots of different kinds of love that I get to express in this album.
Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the title track, Lucky, Lucky Gift, like, and how this is a power pop anthem.
It's well, for me, like I love a song that is just pop. I'm a pop theologist. Like I
Mhm.
love pop music, and I believe that we have our pop divas, and you're born under a certain pop diva, and that's always going to be your diva no matter what happens. And then it's like an astrological sign. So mine is Madonna, but I have Beyonce, Moon, and Lady Gaga rising.
Okay.
So if you do your astrology as your divas, everybody has different ones, whether that's your Britney with like a Tate McRae rising, or like, everybody's got their own diva. So like Lucky Gift is my entry into the world of sort of pop diva. Like I want to have that soaring vocal, that like really inspirational song. I want the song to be like on the soundtrack of like Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, like that
Okay.
kind of like
Nice.
when you're in a car and the wind is blowing in your hair and you're with your friends and you're singing at the top of your lungs. And so
Mhm.
that's the kind of thing that I wanted to express.
Awesome. So, is there anything you ultimately hope audiences take away from this album?
I just hope they love it. I love it too. Like I love it so much. I really enjoy my own voice. I think I have a good voice. I like singing. And so
I
I
agree.
hope that people like enjoy the bops. For me, it's a real pleasure to do. I really love making music, and it's just a special thing.
Definitely. And you've also called this album gay pop in the best way. How do you see your music reflecting queer joy and identity?
It is queer joy. It is queer pop. It's gay pop. It's like, because I think that we have such a hard time in the world. We need music to get by in the way that people look to religion and the way that they look to their spirituality or their church. I think that we really get that from music. I
Definitely.
honestly believe it. Like music helps us so much, and there's a reason why these fandoms like Madonna, Beyonce, Gaga, like they all, or the like Mariah Carey, the Lambs,
Mhm.
like there's a sense of unity and pride within those collectives, like Swifties or
Yeah.
whoever, we find community there as much as we find community with each other, and we find strength there. So yeah, this album that I've made is really it was also I was also inspired a lot by Chapel Roan,
Okay.
who sort of rose up through the ranks very quickly, and then I sort of identified very much solidly as gay pop, and Jojo Siwa too,
Mhm.
who really was like, I'm gonna be a gay pop star, which
Yeah.
I love that. So for me, it was putting my hat into the ring for gay pop.
There you go. I love it. And I also absolutely love the song Funny Man, which you said was a tribute
Thank
to
you.
Robin Williams. Can you talk a little bit more about this track and why you decided to dedicate a song to him?
Well, I wrote the song the day that he died in 2014. And when he died, I established an outreach for people experiencing homelessness in San Francisco called Be Robin, which was to celebrate Robin's work, like with Comic Relief, which was
Mhm.
his big charity
Yeah.
for people experiencing homelessness in the 1980s that I participated in. And I wanted to reflect that in doing the song on the street. We did these big outreach events where we would give out a lot of food and clothing and supplies to people out on the street in these encampments. And then we'd also play these songs. And I played Funny Man out there. We'd have these big bands that had like any not working musician, that nobody working that day
Mhm.
would come. And so we'd have huge bands with horns and strings, and we'd have famous people like Boots Riley or Bob Mould would join us sometimes. And just going all down the street, we'd steal electricity and we would make a huge show, which was really spectacular and also really honored the spirit of giving and also entertainment and street performance, which Robin also was very famous in doing in the 70s
Mhm.
before he became a big star. So it was a song that was really from that era for me. And yeah, I love it. I think it's really expansive.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful song, and I'm really grateful that I finally got to put it out.
Yeah, for sure. And you've spoken about the struggles of comedians face behind the scenes. How did knowing Robin shape your own understanding of mental health and comedy?
I think it was hard to say because he was such an unknowable person.
Yeah.
Also, I think that his mental health sort of pulled him away from other people in a lot of
Mhm.
ways. And so
Yeah.
I was not particularly close to him in any way. At the most, I had a real parasocial relationship with him, as almost everybody in my generation did.
Yeah.
But that didn't lessen any of his importance in our lives. I knew him personally because he was a comedian, and I would always have to perform after him. Like he would always
Yeah.
bump me at shows, and it was the most nightmarish thing to have to go up after him. But I learned a lot as a comedian from doing that.
Yeah.
But I think you know, what is sad is that a lot of his legacy is lost because people aren't like talking about him as much because of the uncomfortableness of his passing.
Mhm.
And I feel like enough time has gone by where we can actually like look back and really embrace his body of work and
Oh,
think,
definitely.
wow, what an extraordinary person that we got to share the planet with for
Mhm.
this period of time. What a great artist. So
Yeah.
I really hope people get to talk about him more
Mm.
and more from this song.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious, what is your absolute favorite Robin Williams film?
I think it's 1 hour photo. It's
Okay.
weird. It's a weird one. It's so great. It's super creepy. I like Awakenings too. I mean, I think The Fisher King as well.
Okay.
There's so many uh but it's hard to say, Dead Poet Society. But yeah, I do like 1 hour photo. I think
Our
it's
photo
really
is
good.
good. Yeah, yeah. Mine will always and forever be The Birdcage. That was like one of my gateway
Oh,
films.
of course,
Mhm,
of
him and
course.
Nathan
Oh,
Lane.
Mrs. Doubtfire as
Yes.
well.
I mean, there was nothing that that man could that did anything bad. I mean, he was just such a comedic genius,
Such a genius.
and when the day he passed, it was just I was just like just so dumbfounded, like oh my god, like one of these actors I grew up with is now gone. And it's like it was just devastating to me. So
So awful. It's so
yeah,
awful.
but like you said, I'm so glad that we could share his memory with Funny Man and all that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you can communicate with music that you can't communicate with comedy?
Yeah, there is. I mean, because people take a song and they can put anything on it. With a joke, really, people have one interpretation in
Hmm.
general.
Yeah.
But with songs, you can really take it and run with it, that it can be anything that you want, which I love that. To me, it's also the art form that I return to the most often. Like I rarely, like I do listen to comedy albums over and over, but not as frequently as I do return to songs over and over.
Yeah.
Like I return to my favorite songs constantly, and then that also grows with time. Like I'm very excited about music all the time, but I also never lose the excitement of a song that I love to be played over and over. And so I think
Mhm.
that's what I love about making music, is that people can put their own interpretation on it and they can revisit it time and time again.
Mhm, for sure, definitely. Well, outside of music, you're currently on another round of your Live and Livid tour. How's that been going?
It's been going great. It's been really special. I got to go to Canada last week and apologize for America. I just try to make it okay.
Mhm,
I love Canada. I think that's probably where I'm gonna end up if things go really badly here.
exactly.
But yeah, I've been going everywhere. I'm really grateful for comedy. It's the one thing that I have that can help me make a little bit of sense out of the madness of it
Hmm.
all.
Yeah.
Um, it's really crazy. It's really bad, but at least we can make fun of them, which I think is the one weapon that we can really use that really affects change.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so that's what I feel like I'm doing to help.
Good, good. I mean, with the news with like the Kennedy Center and all that, it's like I don't know how we're going to survive these next 4 years. So, do you have any advice on what we can do?
Yes, well, we've been through worse.
Mhm,
I mean, it just sounds unbelievable, but we actually have been through worse. We had received this amount of homophobia and hatred, and we were also battling a deadly pandemic of our own,
mhm.
which were killing us by the millions. And so to remember that we had worse and we survived and got so much farther, and we will be okay, but we
Mhm.
have to have all hands on deck. Everybody has to be fighting, and that's whatever, with whatever tools that you have, whether you're going to a town hall, whether you're posting online, whether you're
Yeah.
talking to others about what we can do.
Mhm.
um it's really important that we forge our weaponry, whatever that is. Like mine is just making jokes, but
Yeah.
that's a solid thing that everybody has to pick up and choose their fighter and go.
Definitely, I agree. Well, you also have some television projects in the works, such as being cast as one of the Grace sisters in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. What are you looking forward to the most about bringing this character to life?
Well, I love it. I got to work with Kristen Shaw
Mhm,
and the amazing Sandra Bernhard,
mhm.
which I am a Bernhardologist. And so I'm very, very, very familiar and obsessed with everything Sandra has ever done.
Mhm.
So it's so fun to work with her because I can just go on and on about all of the minutia that she even forgot.
Yeah.
And reminding her of all these things. And so we had the best time. Like I love Kristen and I love Sandra. We play sisters, which is so cute. And we it's like a big like sci-fi fantasy, really like elaborate special effects and things that I've never seen before. So I'm really looking forward to being part of that too.
Yeah, definitely. When I was doing my research, and I saw that you were doing Percy Jackson with Sandra and Kristen. I could not think of like a better trio, so I'm so looking forward to that.
Thank you. Yeah, I love them.
And what can you share about your role in Greg Araki's "I Want Your Sex" and working alongside Olivia Wilde and Charlie XCX?
I love that. I didn't get to meet Charlie. I so bummed because I'm so brat. Like I'm so brat.
You had a brat summer last year.
I had such a brat summer and now I only throw this party for you. So I'm like really very party for you. Like I'm so brat coded in everything I do. So it was not a disappointment to not meet her, but I worked with Greg 30 years ago on Doom Generation.
Okay.
So it's great to work with him again. And also great to work with Olivia Wilde and to hang out with her and with Cooper Hoffman, who's great. And so I play a cop, which is so hot. Like it's giving Seven. It's like very like Morgan Freeman. Like it's like really like grizzled cop. Like I love it. So I'm like the voice of reason, the hot cop.
All right, there you go. Love it. All right, Margaret. Well, how can one stay up to date with you the best?
People can find me everything I'm doing at margaretcho.com. You can also see everything on Instagram, Margaret_Cho, and I'm also on TikTok at the Margaret Cho.
All right. Well, then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you'd like to mention or plug at this time?
I will be at the Grammy Museum doing music. This is one of my music shows in LA on April 1st. So it's very exciting. So people should come out.
All right, fantastic.